This week saw a lot of information and the trailer for the Life and Death expansion pack. Hello, my name is Jennifer and welcome to my Sims 4 news video. So the trailer dropped on Thursday, October 3rd, and then there was actually a short made with clips from the trailer on October 4th, where they had someone talking over and explaining things a little bit. The other information that we got like the page where you can pre-order it, and there was feature information there, and then we got the blog post, and then there was a lot of information in the EA app too, so a lot of information and some tweets. This part here where the little light is going out, I kind of wonder if that's like gameplay or trailer magic, or if that's actually going to be something new in the game versus how it currently works. I don't really know, because again, it does say right at the beginning, not all images are in the game. And then here's like a couple of different examples of funerals that they have. And here's the one where they're having, and various things like that you can do. And people can, grieve in their own ways. There's actually 4 new types of grieving, which they discuss in the other areas. Much as there are different sources of information, it's good to look at them all because they all have little bits of different information and they're not all in one place. So by looking at all the different ones, they're different. I kind of wonder, the little ghost, the cow plant was like a ghost, which is normally they just turn into a skeleton. But one of the worlds I think has ghostly plants or something like that, or not ghostly. We'll see when we get to the post. I'm not going to read all of them. I'm just going to we'll take a look at them and see if there's anything I noticed that's sort of different. And then here, this is this river that you can go in. It's sort of magical, and you can obviously, as a regular sim, turn temporarily into a ghost, and then they have the funny dance, and she joins the Reaper career, which there's 2 new careers that come with the pack, and this is funny. And then she ends up quitting her job. And she's having some memories, and it looks like she's maybe made up with her sisters because they did her family, because it does say to reconnect with them. And she looks like she's older. I'm guessing she's finished her bucket list of things, or soul's journey, and walking through the various different types of customizable cemeteries, which they do say that they can be placed in any world. And then here he is, looking like he's saying goodbye, but he's being reborn. So when you complete your soul's journey as like the sim, I think you maybe can help ghosts be reborn. But if you complete it as a ghost, because you didn't finish it when you were living, I think you can also do it from what I can tell. And you get a special trait, I think maybe in both cases. And of course, there's going to be a gameplay trailer on October 17th. Then there's the items for the early purchase by December 12th, which we'll take a quick look. And then, of course, it's available October 31st, and it's specifically available at 10 a.m. Pacific. So it'll be available for everybody at the same moment, which will be whatever your various different time zones are. For me, that would be 1 p.m. Eastern. So then they have this particular tweet where they, shared a link to the features post. And there are the 3 early purchase incentive items, which you need to buy by December 12th. So there's a family portrait, which I'm thinking is going to be like the Sims Mobile one, where it changes to who's in the household. But I don't know. It's just a guess. And then you've got this music box and the mask that would obviously create a sim item. And then they talk about the endless journey. So you've got your bucket list, and you can start with that as a young adult. And if it's not finished, you can devote your afterlife to completing the unfinished business. There's 3 new traits, one of which is macabre there. And you've got the bit about the career of reaping souls, or you can become a mortician. That is like a classic career. The reaping souls, my understanding is it's an active career, is what they seem to be saying. And you can see there's an aspiration, there's a new skill, and there's a pet crow, and there's the tarot cards, which can be collected. Then there's this section, Goodbye for Now, where they talk about the 4 types of grieving, which depends on the Sims. In fact, they can do wills, have heirlooms they can pass down, and then guardians for surviving dependents, among some other things. And then you can be either a nice ghost or a bad ghost, and you can grow your abilities and get some money. And then there's a special spectral woohoo between ghosts that's available there, and they go into a bit more detail in the blog post. Here's the blog post, Journey into the Great Unknown with the pack. The world is Ravenwood, And it has 3 unique neighborhoods. One is Crow's Crossing, which is an eerie village frequented by ghosts and regular hauntings, and they have more information there. Then they have, for a slower pace, you can stroll through the rolling hills and idyllic countryside of Whispering Glen. And there seems to be things are a little wild during the full moon. You've got a crypt, you've got, a shared community plots there where you can garden. And there's a moon revelry festival in that area. And the first one has the Ravenwood Family Day, which is relevant for later. And then you have the otherworldly Morning Vale, which has a lot of different things that they can see. And that's where the Baleful Bog is. So you can do the Rebirth, and there's a festival. So all of them have their own different festivals that are there. So it looks like the world, it seems quite interesting, I have to say. And from what I had seen, that it's loosely based, I think, on Romania, with some inspiration from there, but other also places. I'll just show the little tweet that I had seen about that, so you can see where I got that information. And then you have The Sims Only Live Once, and so essentially it's talking about that bucket list / soul's journey, which the soul's journey is a reward system uniting aspirations and wants. So I'm kind of curious how that's going to work, because I do play with those a lot. And the ultimate reward is the ability to rebirth a sim with the special burning soul trait after their passing. So it seems like you get the ability to do it, but also if you didn't get everything done, you can keep working on it afterwards, and then you have the ability to rebirth as a ghost. And it says it will result in an even more powerful form of rebirth with the burning soul trait. But they mention it both places, so I'm don't really know how that works. And so, of course, as ghosts, you can be a playable household member, which you can already be. It's just that the ghosts are going to be expanded with, more abilities and things like that with this pack, which is interesting, I have to say. And there's the careers. You've got the Reaper profession and the Undertaker career. And the Reaper profession is you can become Grim Turns and work your way up to Reaper. And it has more details about the things that you can do with that. And then the Undertaker career is a classic career. It has 2 branches. You can be a mortician or a funeral director. So those are the 2 careers. The one has a branch. And it does seem like the Reaper one is just your classic, because the normal professions, as they call them, they don't have branches. Like the 3 that come with Get to Work and the acting, they just go right up to level 10 and they don't branch out, whereas the more typical classic careers have branches. And then you have Honoring the Dearly Departed, where you can essentially do funerals. Essentially, you can customize them really well. And then they talk about the new death type, Death by Murder of Crows. You can receive the Ghost Whisperer reward trait, I think, for completing the Ghost Historian aspiration. There's horror novels you can unlock. And there's a new lot trait, Hallowed Grounds lot trait, which is separate from the cemetery. So there is a lot trait and there's a cemetery, which is a lot type. And you can create a will at the town hall in Crow's Crossing. You can do it via the computer if you don't want to leave your home, or you can do it at the Family Day Festival, which is why I said that was going to be relevant later. And then they talk about wills, where you can, assign heirlooms to specific individuals, leave personal notes, set emotion reactions for loved ones reading the will, specify how you want your remains to be handled, make funeral planning requests, and designate other Sims to care for their pets or children. If the entire household passes away, you can donate your simoleons to charity or another known households, and you can update them at any point in your lifetime. And then it actually goes on here to explain, how about there's 4 grief types: denial, holding together, anger, and blues. It looks like the grief type you're going to receive, so you're not going to choose it. It's going to be based off your traits and, if applicable, the relationship. And it normally takes hold after the mourning period has ended, and other things other than death will cause grief. Tough situations such as loss of family member or close friend, divorce, getting fired from a career, or the loss of a pet, if you have the applicable pack, can trigger grief also. And you can reach out for help. You can attend grief counseling, and there's some other things there that you can do. And they talk about the funerals, which can be, somber or lighthearted, depends on if you're doing, what you're doing. And there's a lot of details there about what you can do. Very customizable. And then, again, those early purchase items. And the other place you can get a lot of information is actually the EA app. And you can see that you have the 4 categories, and they each have their own little subsections. So for Soul's Journey, you've got In Life, where you can choose your life's goals starting at the young adult stage. And they give some examples of some things that you might get on your goals. And you can also reject some of the goals if you don't want to do them. And again, that burning soul trait, the ability to be reborn, and more if you complete that bucket list. And then, again, as we already know, you can continue that after you die if you didn't finish it in life. And then once you're finished, you can start over, and you can either be reborn. And when you're reborn, you can choose what household your reborn sim will join and what their relationships will be. And you'll also customize their age and their appearance. So, and the example is you could put them with the Goth family with Bella and Mortimer as their parents. So that's kind of an interesting, very customizable thing. And then here's the Life with Death, where you've got the 2 careers, which we already talked about. And then the traits and aspirations. There are the 3 traits. Macabre Sims delight in the dark and marvel at the morbid. Chased by death will give Sims a seize-the-day attitude and tilt the odds against them in risky situations. And skeptical Sims will not believe in ghosts even when they encounter them. And then they talk about that ghost historian aspiration, which we've already sort of looked at before. And you got the dark pursuits, which is the pet crows and tarot. So they talk about the death by murder of crows, and the new collectible tarot cards, which can be found around Ravenwood or purchased in Build Buy. I wonder if you can get them on the computer too. And if you have a full deck, you can perform readings for themselves and for others. And I'm thinking or wondering if that's kind of going to be like the Void Critter cards, where you just get a pack and you open them up and you get random ones versus, because it's collectibles. So no, you're not probably going to be able to pick the ones that you're getting, is my guess. And then here, the coping with loss, you've got the 4 types of grief and the various things that we've already discussed. So I'm not going to go over that. Here, remembering in your own way, the fact that it's customizable, where you can have toast, eulogies, a memorial canon. You can have a silver get together, or you can have an upbeat celebration of life. So it's all of this, they all have a little bits of piece of information that some overlaps and some is new. And there's more information there about the writing wills and passing down heirlooms. And what I'm kind of curious about with the children and pets is if that's going to mean that if you have the pack, if all the teens and up in the household die, if the kids will then move to the other household, as opposed to currently they get called unless you have a mod that prevents that, which I use MCCC to prevent if everybody dies from that happening. And then here you got a little bit more about the ghosts. You can grow your power. So they have power progression for ghosts. They have 5 tiers split between good and evil lanes, as well as a 4-tier neutral track in the middle. So you're going to unlock powerful abilities as you get up, and you have to watch your stamina gauge because you get more see-through when you're low on energy. That looks kind of interesting. And the ultimate ability of the good track is the benevolent blessing, and the ultimate ability of the evil track is the otherworldly curse. They sound kind of interesting, and I'm guessing the neutral, you don't get an ultimate ability because it only has 4. That's my thought on that. And then you can be friendly, or you can be, evil. And there's some more information. The same thing about you can earn simoleons by selling the various essences, depending on which one you get, but either way, you get that. And then the crypts can hold up to urns of 20 sims. But they're more than just a final resting place. The living can visit to mourn, nap, woohoo, or join the mortician career. And there are adventures waiting. You can find treasure, or you can find something less pleasant. And then they talk about cemeteries there, and the fact that ghosts might be there, or a gravekeeper at night might share a frightful tale, and they can be created and placed in any world. Now, I had kind of wondered when I heard of cemeteries whether they would become base game, because there have been some packs where we have got the lot type added to base game, but we get more that are unique or locked to packs and seem to be added to base game. And the closest one I could seem to think would be similar is With My Wedding Stories. The wedding venue was added to base game because weddings are base game. And so you can have a wedding venue regardless of whether you have the pack and have your weddings there. So it kind of made sense to me that maybe cemeteries could be base game because, Sims die in base game, and we do have gravestones and urns in base game and Sims. Even though they don't grieve, they still mourn and are sad. But they seem like there's a lot of stuff here that I don't know how well it would be if it was a base game thing. I mean, would it be just a base game a lot and you just wouldn't have all the extra things? Or does it maybe not really make sense that it would become a base game thing? Of course, we don't know what is coming with the base game update, and usually something gets added with the base game update. And then they have a little bit more information about the Ravenwood and some of the things that are there. You got about the baleful bog. Alice's dead tree is to get quests from the ghost mother, adventure in a haunted house, meet Grimm and the garden ruins, and encounter the frightening Edith in the village, and more. So it seems like there's a lot of sort of fun, quirky things associated with this new world. I'm sure a lot of them are just more rabbit hole-y, but still, you know, you get that still takes some effort, and it still seems like it might be kind of fun. And like I said, that sort of Sims fun note of things. Then here, this was from Sim Guru Morgan, if anyone recognized who the Sims were there. And then she went on to say, only one is new and Grimm is Grimm. So two of them are from, apart from Grimm, are from like another Sims game. And then you've got the hand of Grimm on the shoulder. So the thought is that they are Nervous Subject and Olive Spectre. So Nervous Subject is the son of Olive Spectre, and Olive Spectre is had like fascination with Grimm and has like a lot of gravestones, and the father is thought to be the Grim Reaper, hence the hand on the shoulder. And in this, they have the fun hairstyle on the Sim, and it's actually a scythe, which was Sim Guru Bat's idea, which I thought was kind of fun. So I just thought I'd share that. I'll let the short of the trailer run there in the background, and as usual, I will have everything linked down below. So in general, the theme of the pack, death, doesn't really work with my playstyle because my Sims don't really die, so I don't really need cemeteries or funerals or wills or all that stuff, though the whole thing about the children might be useful in case there is an accidental death. But the new aspiration and the soul's journey / bucket list and the new collectibles and skill, they appeal to me. I will explore the new careers, but also something that doesn't really suit me. But I'm sure I'm in the minority, and I'm curious what you think of everything that's coming with the pack and how it will expand your gameplay. And what do you think about Cemeteries? Do you think that's something that would be added to the base game update, with it just being having more things, more fleshed out if you had the pack? Or do you think it's just going to be added to the pack? I'd love to know any of that in a comment down below. But that's going to be it for this video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!